It was supposed to be just another fiery Senate exchange, but what unfolded between Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana and Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts quickly turned into one of the most talked-about political showdowns of the year. The moment began with sharp words, but it ended with a clash of values, generations, and visions for America, one that left the chamber buzzing and the public divided. Elizabeth Warren, known for her fierce advocacy and blunt rhetoric, took the floor with her usual intensity. In the midst of her critique of conservative lawmakers, she turned directly toward Kennedy and branded him a relic of the past. The jab was quick, dismissive, and meant to sting. In a political era where sound bites often define reputations, Warren seemed to have delivered what she thought would be a knockout blow. But John Kennedy was not about to let the insult pass unchallenged. Rising slowly, with his trademark Southern drawl and measured cadence, Kennedy looked straight at Warren and responded not with anger, but with a devastating blend of wit, principle, and plain-spoken wisdom. He reminded her, and everyone listening, that being rooted in the past does not mean being irrelevant. If by relic you mean I believe in hard work, in faith, in family, and in common sense, then I'll wear that badge proudly, he said, his voice echoing through the chamber. The words struck a chord that silenced the room. What made the exchange so gripping was not just the insult and rebuttal, but the deeper clash they represented. Warren embodies a progressive movement that seeks to push boundaries, to redefine long-standing traditions, and to accelerate change at every turn. Kennedy, on the other hand, symbolizes the stubborn resilience of values many Americans still hold dear: patriotism, humility, and the wisdom of past generations. In that moment, two very different Americas collided. Viewers watching the exchange could feel the tension. For Warren's supporters, her comment was a rallying cry against what they see as outdated ways of thinking. But for Kennedy's supporters, his response was more than just a defense. It was a reminder that the lessons of the past are not dead artifacts but guiding lights for the future. And Kennedy didn't stop there. He went on to challenge the notion that age or tradition should be mocked in a nation built on the shoulders of those who came before. Progress without respect for the past is like building a house on sand, he said, turning Warren's insult into an opportunity to inspire. Even some of his critics had to admit his words landed with undeniable power. The aftermath has been nothing short of explosive. Clips of the exchange spread like wildfire online, sparking passionate debates across social media. Supporters praised Kennedy for standing his ground with dignity and courage, while others accused Warren of stooping too low in an attempt to score political points. For many ordinary Americans or those struggling with rising costs, cultural divides, and uncertainty about the future, the moment felt like a reflection of their own frustrations, a yearning for leaders who can balance progress with stability, change with respect. What makes this story so compelling is that it isn't just about two politicians clashing in the Senate. It's about the soul of America in 2025. Do we discard traditions because they are old? Or do we preserve them because they've carried us this far? Do we chase change for its own sake? Or do we measure it against the wisdom of experience? By the end of the heated debate, Kennedy had transformed what could have been a humiliating insult into a rallying stand. He reminded both his supporters and his opponents that principles, once mocked as relics, are often the very anchors a nation needs in turbulent times. The chamber erupted in murmurs, not because of political victory, but because Kennedy had touched something deeper, something beyond party lines. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. This wasn't just about Elizabeth Warren or John Kennedy. It was about every American who has ever felt dismissed for being old-fashioned, every worker who still believes in integrity, every parent who still teaches their children that respect matters, and every citizen who wonders whether progress without roots is progress at all. The exchange ended not with bitterness, but with a lesson that lingers. Sometimes, the past is not a burden, it's a foundation. And in defending that truth, John Kennedy turned an attempted humiliation into an unforgettable moment of strength. This showdown, destined to be replayed and analyzed for years, leaves us with the powerful reminder: in politics, as in life, dignity and conviction will always outshine insults.